Hi Libra, welcome to your June reading. I hope you are doing really well. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's talk some astrology before we get into the reading. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. If you'd be interested in booking a reading, you can do so on the website rubyreadstarot.com if you haven't already become a member. Let's talk some astrology. 3rd of June, Mercury finally goes direct in the sign of Taurus. Any long-term held up plans, anything that was stagnating, feeling like you're quite stuck and you can't move forward, that energy shifts. It's now time to make some plans. It's now time to think about the future. And I think it's safe to say that long periods of stagnation are well and truly over. On the 4th, Saturn goes in retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and this is probably going to be important for you because I think this is going to kind of push you in a bit of a direction where you may need to kind of set some sort of social boundaries with those that you love, your loved ones, as well as colleagues and such, and exterior life. Just because you may have to really push the direction inwards and kind of check in with your personal responsibilities with yourself, whereas you may have been neglecting the things that you know keep you individualistic. Okay, so on the 13th, Mercury enters Gemini, and I would say that this is perhaps the time of the month where you kind of let your hair down. It's a good time to socialize. Go on holiday, throw a party, do something fun. On the 14th is the full moon in Sagittarius. See notes above. It's a good time to have fun. Let your hair down. The vices, the fun, the frivolity, it's all about it. On the 21st, the sun enters the sign of Cancer. That's the summer solstice. Also happens to be the longest day of the year. And so shift your attention for the next 4 weeks on your home, on your stability, on your personal protection, your family, the things that bring you those creature comforts, you know, your loved ones. On the 22nd, Venus moves into the sign of Gemini, and this, for me, is the ultimate fuckboy energy, other than Venus and Libra. I'd know all about that. It's exciting but fickle. It's fun, it's flirty, it's quick, it's gone with the wind. If it gets boring, I'm gone. I'm ghosting. It is what it is. On the 28th, the new moon in Cancer, focus entirely now on home and community. Neptune happens to begin its retrograde in the sign of Pisces on that day, and so this might be a period of establishing fact from fiction. Libra, deep breath in for me. And with the month of June, I would say there is a breath of fresh air, a bit like a summer breeze that brings about some niceties. You get to open up a new chapter. You begin to start anew. And I think it would be a really good idea for you to kind of make peace with some of the things from the past. If they're not around in your life anymore, that's probably for a very good reason. And being okay with that is wisdom. 6 of Cups. There is some sort of need for you to really focus your attention on your home space right now. There is more that you can do, Libra, to make things at home better. There is attention that needs to be paid on where things kind of may be slipping out of your hands. It's a really good idea for you to see what you can do to bring feelings of creature comforts. This is, I have a feeling, going to be a lot to do with your living situation, Libra. Listen, you've worked really hard in accumulating the things that bring you creature comforts, yet for some reason there is no happiness within the home situation. And so June is inviting you to create the utmost best with what you've worked so hard to put together. And I think working on creating some sort of sentimental space might take a lot of moderation and economy and transmutation on your part. That's honey on my knuckles. Excuse me. Sweet as honey. Temperance. Card of Sagittarius. You are in a creative space right now, and I do feel like your attention may need to focus a lot on your personal economy, on the things that you know that you may need to transmute, the things that are not necessarily in your hands, and the things that you may feel like are slipping out of your hands, Libra. There's a lot that needs a bit of time here, and patience, and a bit of humility. And so Libra, you may have to, or you may at least feel like you're starting humble, or you're having to go back to square one, or, you know, you're starting small. And the thing here is the Page of Pentacles is something that once kind of really gotten into the energy of correctly is something that can grow and turn into something really big. And that's the Ace of Cups. It can provide a lot of emotional contentment. I do feel like your focus is very much on working on the home and seeing what it is that you can mutate and transmute. I think ultimately you will find that there will be a lot of emotional contentment in the work that you do in June. Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. I love this energy. There you are, the Queen of Swords, Libra, very diligent and very intensely facing this King of Wands. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. Apologies for the squeaky chair. Tower card. Libra, there are things that are coming to a bit of a grinding halt. These are towers that are crumbling because it's necessary for these conventions to come down. If they weren't built on firm, stable foundations in the first place, please don't expect true longevity or true contentment to come from things that are quite volatile and quite up and down. If you feel like you are carrying a weight or a burden that is more than your fair share, you really have to begin to look at that. If it is something that genuinely brings you emotional contentment, then by all means carry on holding up the things that you believe are precious to you. Life is nothing without responsibilities that hold us in our places of creature comforts. Libra, you are being asked in the month of June to be very discerning in this Gemini season energy. And I do feel like that sharp intellect of yours has perhaps found a counterpart that knows how to work you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, King of Cups. There is an element of emotional intelligence, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy that might be needed in regards to really reconciling a home situation for the utmost contentment, but you feeling burdened by somebody else or by what you're having to do to hold a certain situation up is perhaps contributing to what this Tower moment, make it or break it situation is. Libra, I think you know that there is something that you want to walk away from. I think you know that there is something else out there that is perhaps a lot more emotionally gratifying for you. And now in June, you're really being invited to see what it is that crumbles in your life, the foundations that have given way, in order for you to be able to move on and go forth right into something that does feel like home, that does genuinely feel like your cup is flowing over. You know, that true kind of contentment. If you decide to take this journey, if you decide to move in the right direction, I think you will find things happen really quickly. All the right bits of information, all of the things that make you, that lead you on synchronistic steps. Bit by bit, it kind of pulls together really quickly, but you've got to be emotionally intelligent enough to know when it is time to set off in a direction that doesn't necessarily mean that you're having to exert effort in having to defend yourself or hold your fort or hold your own. I feel like there is a much necessary and a much needed period of having to not fight for your, fight for yours and not have to like be poked at or prodded at. This ends in home. Finding home, taking the risk, going on the journey, just accepting the good with the bad and being very present and up for the ride. Cancer season, this new moon in Cancer, I think is perhaps going to see you in a place where you finally get to relax. Bottom of the deck. 8 of Swords. Get out of your own head where you can, Libra. These prisons of your own making. Kind of just rest on, just sleep on things that you know are triggers, okay? I think that's all I have for you, Libra. If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. I love it when you do that. All of my love to you, Libra. Have a wonderful June. Take it easy. Bye.